So, Apolly, here are the tips for today. Sorry I can't be there. No, I'll be there next week, and I will be able to support you virtually through email if necessary. So, let's go through some tips for today. Starting with let's look at the process of what you're trying to do. So, you're trying to do field and online research of a topic, and then you want to field and online research the solution once you know more about your topic. And then once you kind of have a sense of solution, you want to think about who is a target who can make that solution happen. And then you want to customize social action that will persuade that target. Know that citizens are typically not the target, but a strategy to reach the target. The target's a person who has the power to make the solution happen. So you can't, you may focus on putting on a video on YouTube to convince voters to do something, but then they have to do something towards a target, and then so you have to really think about, in that case, what would persuade a voter to help you, but then you also need to think about, well, what's the target and what would help the target? Why would that video convince the target? So don't stop at a citizen and don't confuse the ultimate goal, which is persuading somebody or agency or entity that can make your action happen, which is typically not a citizen. Next is that you want to really think about the process of how you do your work. So you have a written plan. So you want to discuss your written plan. You want to write your written plan by dividing the parts among your group using technology like Google Docs. And then you want to develop a deliverable, an action item that you can deploy. And then you want to divide that and work as a group to make that happen. Because your deliverables, you might have more than one. You might have a petition, you might have a YouTube video, you might have both of them, you have a presentation or a handout you give to a politician. So you might have an orchestra of items. So you have to really think about these four ideas: communicate, divide, support, and celebrate. So communicate means you hear each other. It means that you, once everyone has had a chance to be heard, that you then drive towards consensus, which means that everyone can live with it. So, consensus, does mean some compromise, but it doesn't mean everyone's happy. It doesn't mean it's perfect. It means that I can live with it and I can support my team. Next, you want to divide. It means you want to discuss what the common mission is. Then you want to split your work, which means that you want to, utilize your team time, whether it be outside of class or in class, and start using tools like Google Docs to make that happen. And you want to support, which means that you want to help each other complete your tasks. Well, because you divided a task, it doesn't mean that you don't notice what other people in your group need. So it means that if you find something, you share it, you ask for how you can help. It means that if you find something that helps the other group, so like, remember that you're supposed to be checking in with other teams, so mentors are supposed to kind of bring you over and have you share ideas, ask for new ideas from other groups, and so continue to support each other. You find a good resource for another group, and give it to them. And last is celebrate. Make sure you have time. You take time, time outs to have fun, be silly, build a culture of care, whether it be through listening to music or high fives, or it's, really, the biggest tip I want you guys to take away is that, you may in the future as a community organizer find people who come and join your groups because they care about an issue, but they're not going to stay if they're not having fun. People stay when they feel like they're part of a team, part of a real community, that they belong, and having fun is a key part of that. Now, the last is this, just overall in review again. The three things you'll be working on the next 4 weeks is a written plan, one or more action deliverables, and a presentation of your experience of how you deployed that deliverable and made real social change. So your experience is what you make of it. Find a solution, organize a campaign to make it happen, be as in-depth or as grassroots as you want, so you can do it as much research as your group is comfortable doing. As grassroots, if you want to go out in the community and start gathering signatures and making action happen, whether it be at campus in De Anza or somewhere else, you find out what your group and your mentor want to do. This is your experience. This is supposed to be open-ended, so you can customize this to how you want it to be. So some last technical tips at the project website tinyurl.com YLA project 13. You can download a digital copy of the handout. The reason it might be useful to do that is then what you can do is you can take the written plan, copy it, and then here's what the website looks like. Right? And then you can go to Google Docs if you haven't already. Create a share folder. Share folder. And take that folder. So where is that? So I lost my own folder. There we go. So I take my folder, and then what I can do is here. So sorry, 2 seconds. So I'm going to go over here. I'm on the APALI group here. Drop down arrow, and I'm going to go share, and I can share this with my group and my mentors, and I can share with a copy if need, please, as well. And then once I'm in my folder, let's create a document. Document's the key part. Paste in the text from before. Okay. And then I can start putting names by each section. I can say, okay, who's going to do the overview? Who's going to do the recommendation? Who's going to do the supporting arguments? Who's going to do the opposing arguments? Who's going to research the target? Who's going to research the strategy on how we convince the target? Who's going to find possible allies and write that down? Each of these sections could be really short, but you divide and conquer and put your names by it so people can start writing in the Google Doc. Just remember, for Google Doc, you have to click share, and let's name this document before we share it. And invite your group and invite me as well. So your main task today really is to work on your research. So if you need any help, my email is governlaw@gmail.com. I can help you remotely. I'll be checking my email. So it's about 1 p.m. over where you're at, and it's about 5 a.m. where I'm at. And I'll be online checking my email to see if you and your mentors need any help. So even though I'm not there in person, I can help. So focus on your research. So whether it be you decided to do something like a petition, but then you want to, that's for a citizen. Who's the target of the petition? Maybe it's to persuade a politician, like your local assembly member. For some of you, that's Assemblyman Paul Fong. So then you look up Paul Fong and divide the research. So it's like, so maybe you have somebody look at a Wikipedia article and learn about him, and maybe you have some people look at his main, his official site, or then you have some people who are going to YouTube and looking for videos, and then through that trying to decide, well, what's is a petition the right thing that's going to convince him? Maybe it's going to be a YouTube video. So you want to research your target, research ways of reaching your deliverables towards your target, and then start working on your written plan. So on Google Docs, and let me put my email once again back on the board. So it's governlaw@gmail.com. Sorry I'm not there, and I just noticed I spelled remotely wrong. So I will see you next week. Bye.